Hello everyone, my name is Eka Adinisi. In this next occasion, I will talk about international flow of funds. This journal review, I talk about global flow of funds analysis in the theoretical model. What happened in China's external flow of funds by Nanzan Hiroshima Sudo University. International flow of funds is a country's international trade flows are affected by inflation, national income, government restriction, and enhanced rates exchange rate, high labor costs, and high inflation, and a high national income, low or no restriction on imports, and a strong local currency tend to result in a strong demand for import and a current account deficit. Although some countries attempt to correct current account deficit by reducing the value of their currencies, this strategy is not always successful. Direct foreign investment tends to occur those countries that have no restriction and much potential for economic growth. Portfolio investment tend to occur in those countries where taxes are not excessive, where interest rates are high, and where the local currencies are not expected to weaken. Several agencies facilitate the international flow of funds by promoting international trade and finance, providing loans to enhance global economic development, settling trade disputes between countries, and promoting global business relationship between countries. A framework for the analysis of global flows of funds. Global flow of funds are flow of funds that relates to domestic flows and international capital flows. The analysis of global flows of funds includes the analysis of relationship between domestic financial flows and international capital flows. It is an analysis of the characteristic of the structure of the flows of funds, including the balance of investment saving and current balance. On the other hand, funds split into fund supply to the domestic economy and funds outflow overseas in fund use. When the flow of funds in a financial market is tied up with the international balance of payments, the overseas sector will become fund outflow excess if the current account is surplus. The global flow of funds in and out of China have been changed dramatically since the 1990s, which not only did inflows increase but also outflows increase as well. We will observe the change in overseas flow of funds in China as follows. First, we investigate the cause of the growth of the domestic flows of funds, while Chinese domestic investment had increased from 1992 to 2005. National savings have increased faster. The investment rate in China has been high and it has risen approximately from 36% of GDP in 1992 to 42% of GDP in 2005. As we can see in the chart 1, saving and investment in China percent of GDP. In this chart, saving growth has risen even faster. However, the China's outflows of funds and capital flights increased with foreign exchange reserve after 1997. And then the chart 2 is the domestic outflow of funds amount to 2.5 renminbi in 2005, and they have increased from 5.7% of GDP in 1992 to 12.9% of GDP in 2005, as shown at the chart 2. Even though the excess of domestic saving has been increased, capital inflows and outflows have been rising since 2001. The result has been a net outflows except in 1993. The outflow was 247 billion renminbi in 1997 during the Asian financial crisis, and they reached a maximum of 1.37 trillion renminbi in 2005. Accordingly, the current account surplus has increased considerably, and foreign exchange reserve have reached 1.2 trillion US dollar in the first quarter of 2007. And the table one was made by the sector of rest of world in flow of funds accounts in China, and it showed the structural change of external flow of funds in China. However, when the balance of fund inflows or fund outflows observed, net inflows to China were positive, except for 1998, and in these 14 years, net capital inflows was 267 billion renminbi a year on average. The research method of this paper is use the theoretic model to review some of the key factors behind the transformation of the structure of the flow of funds into and out of China, and the challenge China faces to follow the rapid pace of globalization. The economies of countries are connected by merchandise trade and the financial transaction. The change of merchandise trade and financial transaction is reflected in the global flow of funds. In this way, it is necessary to investigate the influence of the fiscal and monetary policies of global funds. In this part, the author attempt to exploit the data to create the theoretical model for global flow of funds based on framework of the analysis and describe the change of China's economy from the perspective of the financial structure reflected on the flow of funds. The balance of global flow of funds is an adjustment process that always tends toward an equilibrium state, but sometimes the flow of funds create macroeconomic imbalances. The model uses the principle of applied general equilibrium model. It allows for risk and the formation of expectation with a like structure of relevant economic variables. It explains the flow of funds using continuous adjustment process to the balance from imbalance and in a medium to long period of time. It also belongs to a kind of dynamic model that following for system of a structural equilibrium makes up the basic structure of the model. This research method, structural equation and identity equation. Through the simulation, I want to study the structural factor and cyclic factor in the flow of funds, how the profit factor and the risk factor affect international capital flows, and how change of the pattern of the flow of funds affect to the domestic economic growth. The estimation result as shown in the table 2, the decrease of the freedom is 84. It means that the sample size is small because we use annual data from 1992 to 2005. Systems weight are square that show the explanation power or goodness of the full model of simulation. Equation is 0.9821. So we know explanation power of the estimated model will be fully accepted to be good. Appraisal result and economic analysis. In this economic analysis, the parameter of government expenditure is 1.6. If government expenditure increased by 100 million renminbi, the investment will be increased by 1.6 times. When the presumption result is minus 330, it means the investment will drop by about 53 billion renminbi when the rate of funds market goes up by 1%. And the presumption of elasticity of the interest rate with respect to investment has proved the identical result with a theoretical hypothesis. But we can't accept this estimation result because the p-value of its result is minus 0.75, which is not significant estimate. Since the difference between the elasticity of import with respect to Chinese GDP and the elasticity of export with respect to global GDP is 1.5% during this analyzing period, it has suggested that the structural problem of the import and export exists in the Chinese economy. In this PI estimation, about 0.5% of PI in China was reinvested in China, and then the PER decreased by about 30.35 point when the money market rate are increased by 1%. The estimated value is minus 0.0005 if MR raise the 1 unit. Interest rate will be fall by 0.005 point. RCB is being interlocked with money market rates. If rate of central bank goes by 1%, money market rate will be raised by 0.45 point. This will be considered that the financial policy of central bank has a strong influence on the financial market of China. Moreover, the R1 has big elasticity with respect to R. And then, moreover, since China's capital outflows are mainly disclosed to the US, the elasticity to the foreign capital outflow was presumed using US federal fund rates. The elasticity of the increase of FFR with respect to the capital outflow is 1357.5 with a p-value was of 13.72. That is, if the US FFR increased by 1%, the Chinese capital outflows will increase by amount 135 billion renminbi, since China holds a large portfolio of the US Treasury bonds from 583 US dollar million in 1992 raised to 45.6 billion US dollar in 2006. Chinese funds is following in the US. The chart of the US financial market shows the huge influence of Chinese foreign capital. Since Chinese saving and GDP in the previous period were high, and interest rate fluctuation is set very flexibly for Chinese saving. We have discovered the cause for a rise in national saving which contributes to current account surplus. However, monetary alters help to raise interest rate to control the scale of investment, but this financial policy couldn't take an effect of tightening investment. As a result, the gap of saving and investment was expanded, leading to an imbalanced current account. As we see in the chart 3, if the growth rate of the current account surplus was set by 6%, the growth rate of overseas capital inflows was set by 5% from 2007 to 2010, and the exchange rate of the US dollar was revalued from 2.9 renminbi of 2006 to 6.5 renminbi of 2010. So, the estimate model of the global flow of funds would show that the foreign reserve in China will amount to about 2.14 trillion dollar in 2010. The implication in the research is, as it is known that the differences between saving and investment are called capital flows and net flows, also called as well as net foreign investment. If saving exceeds investment, the net capital outflow is positive and excess is loaned to foreigners. Conversely, if investment exceeds saving, then the net capital outflow is negative, so that the investment continues to run for encourage economic growth, then the countries can borrow from abroad. So net capital outflow is the amount of funds lent by domestic residents to abroad minus to the amount of funds that are lent to us by foreign current. It is net the capital outflow that reflects international flow of funds, which constitute source of capital accumulation. The result of the ratio, the result of the ratio is the gap of saving and investment was expanded, leading to an imbalanced current account. Impact of balance of payment surplus. A country's international balance of payment is categorized surplus if export transactions are greater than import transactions. So the impact of surplus in the balance of payments can, among other things, affect the price level in the countries. In this research, the growth rate of current account surplus was set by 6%. The growth rate of overseas capital inflows was set by 5% from 2007 to 2010. And the exchange rate of the US dollar was revalued from 2.9 renminbi of 2006 to 6.5 renminbi of 2010. So the estimate model of the global flow of funds would show that the foreign reserve in China will amount to $2.14 trillion in 2010. This means the current account surplus will expand further and the foreign reserve will be increased continuously, so the monetary authority should adjust its monetary policy to achieve a zero growth rate of the stock of foreign reserve during a certain period starting in 2008. For that purpose, China has to adjust the pattern of global flow of funds from twin surplus to a twin balance due to the big income gap between the urban rural and the coast inland area. And in order to reduce the life excessively, China will need to stimulate long-lasting increase in consumption and sustain a more balanced economic growth over the medium term. Yeah, thank you for your listening. May all those I have shared be beneficial for us. Thank you.